Hello, residents of Meepletown. This is Dean, and today we're looking at Spirit Island on Steam. And I'm just going to go ahead and point out that this is early access, and so this is not final production. The gameplay is I've had really good experiences with it. I haven't really seen any bugs that I can think of. But one thing I'll point out is I did not know how to play this game beforehand, and at the time of me learning how to play this, there was not a tutorial through Steam, and so just keep that in mind. I'm not going to be going through that anyway. Mainly what I want to do is just kind of show you how the game plays. I'm going to be playing the simple two-player game. Might even be able to teach you a little bit of how the game plays, and then just give you some of my thoughts. So we're just going to start with the new game. We're going to start off with 2 boards and spirits. We're going to do a moderate complexity, and then we're actually not going to do any adversaries, and the board sets up on this one. I'm kind of good with that, actually. Totally fine of playing these 2 spirits. And just to kind of give you a background, this is a cooperative game. We're going to be playing 2 players. This is very asynchronous. Each of the different spirits that you're going to be playing has different powers available, and essentially what you're doing is trying to save your island. You've got these well, actually, let me go ahead and jump into the game. We're not going to do adversaries or scenarios, just jump right into it, and this will load the board up for us. And while we're doing that, I'll just kind of talk through what we're doing. So again, we're spirits. Those white pieces that are coming out on the board, that's an explorer. The explorers also have towns, and they're building towns, building cities, and basically what they're doing is taking over the island, and we don't like that. And so as the spirits, we are trying to kick them off the land as well as destroy their buildings. And if you see those little mushroom hut things on there, that's the Dahan. Those are the natives to our island, so they're good. We're just trying to kick off those colonists that are trying to take over the island. You've got different types of terrain. You've got the mountains, the jungle, the water, the wetlands, and then the desert. And each round, those different terrains are going to be attacked. Actually, the first round that the invaders take their turn, they're actually not going to be attacking or ravaging at you. If you see that at the bottom of the screen, right down here, ravaging. They built this round, and then next round they'll ravage the wetlands, so that one will slide over. A new card will fill that spot, and then new explorers will come out. And I'll explain that as it goes. But right now what we're doing is I'll be looking at this spirit up here in the top left-hand corner. And this one, you're going to pick, in each round, you're going to pick one of these different categories to do. So in this first one, we can reclaim the cards that we've played. Now, we haven't played any cards, so we don't really need to do that. And then you can gain new power cards. You can also set up or establish more spirit tokens out on the board in that second spot, and also Dahan will move in there and into the board, as well as this last one where you gain 4 energy, and then you can also put a new spirit token, add a presence onto the board. And gaining energy at the beginning is important for us so that we can play cards. So I think what I'm going to do, also establishing more presence. Establishing presence is important too, but I think what I'm going to do is just go for the establishing presence and gaining energy. Now, when you establish more presence on the board, it will tell you the distance that you can put it on there, distance from your the presence that you already have on there. And everything, I feel like even if you don't know the game kind of walks you through some of that, right? So on the bottom, on the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see the instructions: click and drag presence to a land to add it. And if you don't know where to add it, I'll show you that those different terrains will glow to show you where you can put those. So how you choose where you want to put presence. This top part has more to do with gaining more energy per turn, and the bottom part has to do with being able to play more cards. At the beginning, we only are going to gain 1 energy per turn with Thunder Speaker, and then we'll gain 1 card play per turn. And so I think what I'm going to do is, since I've got a little bit of energy right now, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and start moving towards being able to play more cards. Now you see the different places that you can that are glowing. Now that matters. Where you have presence matters in how you play your cards. Now I'll explain it a little bit as we go. If you know the game, you don't need any of this explanation. But if you don't know the game, like me before I started playing this, then it's helpful to have an idea of what's going on. So I think what I will do is establish some presence in probably in a wetland area. That's where we're going to be attacked. So I can't go down south, however. So I think actually what I'll do is whoops, I didn't mean to drop that there. I'm going to move it closer to here so that I can start moving some more presence down south. Now with this specific action that I took, I can only move 1 space away from a place where I already had presence. So that's where I moved. Now I will go ahead and do this for the second character before I start playing my actions. And let's see, I can gain a power card and 3 energy. Let's see, but in this case, I think having that energy would be really helpful. But I also need to be able to get some presence out. And you'll see this. Let me go ahead and do this. So this one, I'll actually be able to get, this is the spread of Rampant Green. So with the special ability for this spirit, I can actually put more presence out onto the board into specific places, the wetlands and the jungle. So I think I need to really build up energy. So I'll do that. And let's see. I think, where do I want to be? Again, I kind of need to be moving a little bit north too, so I can take more actions as we go. So that's the growth, that you're always your growth action, and then you can pick another one for this specific spirit. So I think with this one, I'm going to gain a power card and then that 3 energy. And if you look at the bottom right hand of the screen, you're going to see minor and major power cards that you can gain. And if you're going to gain a major one, you're going to have to get rid of another card that's in your hand, so in your deck. So I'm just going to take the minor power, and what that's going to do is show me 4. I'll get to choose one of these, and none of these really mean a ton to you right now, but one thing that you might want to keep in mind is I'll just point two things out, I guess. One, if you see this red ring around the number up here, the number is how much energy you're going to have to spend to play the card. Red means that you're actually going to be able to do that quickly. The speed of that card plays right after you play it. If it's purple, then that one's going to be a little bit delayed, and so when you play the card, the invaders will take their turn, and then that card's action will activate. It's really cool mechanism in the game and something to really think about. And in fact, often, especially at the beginning of the game, I would want one that plays faster. However, I really like this. Let's see, I like the 2 damage card, but I also like the card that will put fear out. Let's see. So I think I'll play this. Oh, the other thing I was going to point out is the symbols on the left-hand side. Each of your character has special abilities that are going to play out as those symbols come out. And so in this case, the character needs moons, and the green one, I don't remember what all the names of those symbols are. So this one actually works out really well for me to get fear out. Fear is a way that you can speed up the condition of winning. Also, the fear cards, the terror cards that come out are helpful, really helpful in this game. I'll, again, explain that as we go. So now it's time to play cards, and I will start with, let's see, we're going to get, nothing's going to get ravaged this time, so we're good to just kind of build out some presence if we can, and kind of, prepare for those beginning rounds when we do actually start having those battles. So I'm going to want to have more presence, some more of the Dahans in the wetlands, since that is where we will be ravaged. And so I think what I'll do, I don't need to defend right now because that's only when we're being attacked. That's when the ravage happens. And so I think I'm going to play this sudden ambush, which is helpful, will be helpful. And then I can play one more card. And so I think, and I have 3 more energy. That energy is not going to go away. So if I store that energy, it's totally fine. And I think I will do the Voice of Thunder. I think that will kind of set me up for the next round. If you see this little circle thing that popped up, that's because I had some symbols that activated. So my special power is activated, so that does that automatically. Remember, only one of those is going to play right away. These other ones are going to play later. Let me run down here to this player, and I can only play one. I do have 4... I do have 4 energy. This one's going to allow, I'll play it right away, and I can add a presence, or if target land has presence and invaders, I get 3 fear. And again, fear is important. We're trying to scare off these colonists from our island. So I think I will play that. And again, I can only play 1 card with this character. And did I want to do that? Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. So finish playing cards. Now again, the fast red cards will play right away. And I can do this in whatever I order. Destroys one of the explorers. Now if you look on here, the range that's on that card, it means I can take that action 1 range away from where I do have presence. And so let's see where I have presence and where that can be helpful, because I'm going to be gathering, let me read that one more time. I'll be gathering a Dahan, so taking one of those huts and moving it into that space, and then it's going to destroy only an explorer, not any of the buildings. So I think it will be helpful to do, let's see, to play this right here. Oh, sorry, I talked about the range, but the target land is any. So any land is, I can attack any of those lands. So what I will do is pull in, let's see, I'll pull in this one. And again, that's going to come in there. And let's see, and I can move, oh yeah, move a presence, I'll move this presence in there, and just to kind of spread out a little bit more and to kind of prep myself for the next reign. So that actually really helped again, because I'm taking out the characters that are in the colonists that are in those wetland spaces to kind of set myself up for whenever they do ravage in that area. So this one's going to allow me to right away set up add a presence, or if target land has presence and invaders, then I'm going to gain 3 fears. So I think, let's see, is there anywhere that I already have presence? And I do. So I do here. Now I can add another presence there, which could be helpful, but honestly right now, again, I just want to get some fear. And now that we've got some fear, I can go ahead and explain what that is. Whoops, we'll do that. We'll do that update later. I'll explain that after the invaders take their phase. So now what's happening right now is they're building in all of the wetland areas. And then what they'll do is explore right after that. When they explore, you're just they'll flip over a card, and now each of those sand territories that has presence adjacent to those sand territories, meaning any of the colonist tokens, then they'll just be able to move right up in there. Now you saw that one came out of the coastal, the water coastal line right there. They can also come from the coast if they don't have any presence adjacent to those territories. Now in that case they would have anyway, because they did have presence adjacent to that. And so now after they've taken their action, then I will take my my delayed actions. Now one thing I mentioned is the fear. So down at the bottom, we've got 3 out of 8 fear. Now, once that hits 8, we're going to draw a card, and that will be a thing that benefits us for that round. Now, at the beginning of the game, I never explained what you're trying to do fully, but at the beginning of the game, the only way you can win is if you if you take out all the explorers, villages, and cities. Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that is really, really difficult to do. I've not come anywhere near that. And another thing that you can do is to start working through that terror deck so that it becomes a little bit easier. So what you do is once you've gone through 3 of those cards, and you have to go through 8 fear. So once 8 fear comes out, then you get a card, and then you do that 3 times, and you'll move to the next level. I believe it's 3. I could be wrong about that. I think that's right, though. Once you move to that next level, then you only have to have 2 of those things destroyed. So in that case, you would have to have if I remember right, it's the villages and the cities that are destroyed. But all of this shows at the bottom of the screen throughout the game, whatever level. And then the last level, it's just you have to destroy all of the cities in order to win the game. So there's a couple different ways that you can win depending on what position you are in the game. I think that's really cool. I love that aspect of this game. You're going to see, I haven't said this yet, but I really, really enjoy this game. So pumped to play this, and I'll get to that a little bit later, jumping ahead right now. So right now I can push up to 4 Dahan, or if invaders are present, then I'm going to gain 2 fear. Again, what I was really trying to do is to gain some fear. I don't really want to push any of the Dahan yet because I kind of need them where they are a little bit. I wouldn't mind pushing. Yeah, I don't want to do that. So I will do that there just to get the 2 fear out. So a little more than halfway there now. And then with my special ability, I can gather up to 1 Dahan per blue symbol that I have. In this case, I've got 2. You'll see over here, I've got 2 played right now. You can also see it on the cards. And so I gather up to 1 per, and then I push up to 1 per yellow symbol, which I only have 1 of those. So where do I want to gather up some Dahan? Well, I'll tell you where I'm going to need those is in the wetland areas. So I'm going to take 1 from here, from the jungle space, and another 1 from the jungle space. So I have gathered there, and I'm not going to move my not going to move my presence. I kind of want that right there so I can spread out a little bit more towards the south of the island. And I don't want to push any of those because I want those to be present in that area whenever they do ravage. So I'm going to finish that. And that's it. So that is the entire first round. I'm not going to play through a whole lot of this, mostly just to give you an idea of how the game plays out. But I will play through one more full round. Maybe some other things will kind of pop up. So again, we're starting off with picking one of our growth actions. And I'll start with the bottom one this time because, again, this one happens anyway, and then I get an additional growth along with that. Now this one, I would like to be able to start playing more cards. Right now I can only play 1. And so I will move and begin to, let's see, where do I want to have some more presence? I'm gonna move right here, I think. And then I can add more presence up to 1 away, which could be helpful. The reason why adding presence, I don't know if I really mentioned that, but a lot of your actions have to do with where you have presence. If you have 2 stacked on top of each other, you have I forget what it's called. It's, I'm going to say super presence, and that is not what it is. It's something way cooler than that. But anyway, if you have 2 presence, that also comes into play depending on how the cards interact with that. So far, I don't think I've seen that at all. Maybe I'm missing it, but anyway, now I get to take my other action. Now I can take the cards back into my hand, but I don't care to do that really. I do think I want to get some more presence out there, and then I'll be able to play another card this turn. And so I might as well go ahead and work on the energy because I'm going to get to play 2 cards this turn anyway. Whoops, not sure what's happening here. Why I'm not allowed to do this. There we go. All right, so again, I can move 1 away, and I think I'm just going to start moving up this way. Where do I want to go? The problem is with moving into a space with, I'll explain this a little bit later whenever the ravage happens. I'm going to move up here. Again, kind of moving north to set myself up to be able to take other actions. Now for the first player up here, I'm going to, let's see, I don't really need energy. I think I'm good there. It wouldn't hurt to gain some power cards, but I don't really need to take my power cards back into hand. So I think what I'm going to do is just start getting some more presence out there. Let's see. So where are the Thunder Speaker tokens on here? Let's see. I would like to start getting some more energy. That gives me a permanent symbol, which is really helpful, again, for being able to take my extra actions as I want. So I think what I'll do is add another presence in. Oof. Not quite sure. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll add a presence there. Now I get one more out there. And again, I'm trying to get more energy, so I'll do that. And what should I do? Whoops, I did not mean to put that there. I should have put it... Again, kind of moving this way. Nothing's down here yet, but as the game unfolds, it's nice to have presence in some different areas. Let's see, now I can start playing some of my cards. I realize that with adding the presence from those, they have to do with where you are, where the Dahans are, which is why it didn't let me place the token where I thought it was going to. It was just because I was not paying attention. So up here, the first player, I'm going to, let's see, each Dahan deals damage equal to the number of presence in that target land, which is why I probably should have put some presence in the wetlands up here. That would have been really, really helpful. Unfortunately, I don't have any presence there. I do have some presence down. That's not really gonna... I do need to do that, but I should have planned that a lot better. So this one's going to defend 3. And then during Ravage, the Dahan and target land deal damage simultaneously with invaders, which is really helpful because normally they would... whoa, not sure what happened there. That was my fault, not a glitch from the game. But normally they Ravage first and take out your Dahan, and then whatever Dahan's left will attack the colonists, but in this case they'll battle at the same time, which that is pretty nice. So I will play both of those. The other one probably isn't really going to benefit me very much, but I never said I was good at this game. I just said I like this game. So all right, I can play 2 cards, and I've got some energy now. Only one of these cost anything. This one is, let's see, the target spirit adds 1 presence up to 1 space away from their presence. Again, another way to help me out. So I do think I will put that one out there. Ugh, I really would like to be able to set myself better up to attack. Can't do that though because I'm just not in a very good position at this moment, but I will be able to later on. So let me look at my abilities here. So let's see, if I play this one, that will allow me to get some extra abilities. In this case, I can defend 2, and that will be helpful. So I'm going to finish playing cards. And then these faster cards will be able to take effect. Well, let's see. Let's see what kind of damage I can do to them. So I would like to defend 2 in a spot where I'm going to get especially attacked badly, which down south, oof, did not plan this out very well. That's not really helpful either. So I think what I'll do is defend myself down, let's see, it's got to be a place where I have some presence nearby. Is that right? Let's see. I guess I could have showed you what these are too, so to show you how these play out. So these are the special abilities that I have available. Those are the speed actions. They range... these are speed actions, I should say. They're range 1 from that double presence that I mentioned. You can have as much presence as you want in a space, but as long as you have 2 or more presence in a space, you'll have that specific symbol on there. It kind of looks like a nest around the presence. And then, let me go back there. I'm not sure what happened. Here we go. Okay. So one range away from there, I only have one of those out on the board right here. And so one range, again, did not plan this out very well, but I think what I'll do is, since that is my best option, I think I'll go ahead and place that right there. So you get that little 2 defense symbol on there. Now, target spirit adds 1 presence up to 1 away from their presence. Actually, let me undo that. Probably should have done that a little bit better. Okay, so I can add a presence up to 1 away. I'm going to target myself. Whoops. I thought I could target myself. Oh, this is poor gameplay. Sorry about that. Target spirit adds 1 presence up to 1 from their... Oh, it's another. The target is another player. So didn't... Got to read all the text on here. Not just a little bit. So they will be able to place up to 1 space away from that double presence. I'm going to place... I think here to kind of set myself up. And again, go back up here. I'll defend 2 from that location. So that's all of their actions. Now up to this player, they'll be able to defend 3 on a target land with the Dahan. Now they will not be able to place in the place that I would like to, because there's not Dahan there. So let's see where I can defend. This one also is going to get attacked. So that'll defend 3. Really helpful for me right now, although they're still going to hit me. And you'll see that in just a second. So when they attack, they put Blight. So if they hit you for 2 or more, that Blight token goes out there. If all of those go out on the board, then you're going to lose the game. So you can't do that. And now this, I can attack with 2 based on the Dahan that's in here. And so I will hit the village for 2 because that's how much it is worth, is 2 damage. I'll put both of those on there. And I get a fear for taking out one of the villages as well. Another part of this app is that there's a lot of weird rules, I guess. It is fiddly. Like, there's a lot of fiddly things that this really takes care of for you, so you don't think about those. So playing the physical game actually can be pretty difficult. I've not played it yet. Have a copy waiting, ready to play, but I imagine I'll struggle because the computer won't take care of all the rules for me. So same thing here. I'm going to be able to attack 2 here. I was able to block their attacks there. However, down here, I'm going to get a Blight token. Now, you see there's a lot of players attacking there. It doesn't matter. If you get hit for 2 or more, a Blight token goes out regardless. Now, if they attack there again, if they ravage there again, and there's a Blight token, there's another Blight token that goes there, and then an adjacent spot gets a Blight token. Now, another negative about that, of just losing the game after they all come out, is that when Blight tokens enter into an area where there's spirit presence, that presence token goes away from the game. It doesn't go back onto your player board, it goes out of the game, and so you really have to manage that well. And so they took their turn, and I'll go ahead and say that was bad, but this game is relentless. Like, you just take beatdown after beatdown, and so that is pretty normal, I think. I'm just going to take my delayed actions here, and then I'll kind of wrap up with some of my thoughts after they do all their stuff. So again, they're ravaging. They've already ravaged. They've already built. Now they're exploring into the jungle spaces, and as you can see, this board is quickly being overtaken by the colonists. Now, if they get too many out there, they're going to win the game that way. So Blight tokens, also just completely taking over. Also eliminating all the presence from any spirit is going to lose the game. So this one's just going to give me a fear, and then each of the Dahans are going to deal damage equal to the number of presence in the target land. I don't think I really have anywhere that it's going to be super helpful, do I? Yeah, I don't. Although I do have some presence there, so I gain that fear. And I'll knock those out. So that actually will be helpful because that's an area that's going to ravage this next time. So actually that was super helpful. We'll do this one. I can gather up to 1 Dahan per purple symbol. And then again, push 1 per yellow symbol. I actually really like this ability. It's become one of my favorites just because you can do so much with setting up defense and then attacking on the lands as well. So I do want to gather in the sand spaces because that's where is going to be ravaging. Fortunately, there's not a whole lot of presence in this one. So what I can do is gather these 2 over here. And I do have 1 more, don't I? I'll take this one. Hopefully I'll get to do this again. And now I can only push 2 of those. But I'm setting myself up. I love that special ability because it really allows you to set up some defense and again attack some of those colonists. This one is going to it's going to deal 1 damage to building. Now that's not really helpful in and of itself because when you do that, it flips it on its side, a building on its side, but the villages takes 2 to hit to destroy, and then the cities are 3. So that power in and of itself is not good unless something's already taken damage, and that is why this card comes into play. So I will, let's see, I'm going to deal damage to this spot. So that's 1 damage, and then I will deal another damage to that spot, destroying it. So again, in and of itself, that power is not great, but in conjunction with other things, this one allows me to destroy a village or town for every 2 Dahan in the target land. Let's see, which is, I can't do that one though, can I? I probably should have planned that better. I bet I could have destroyed another one somewhere else, but oh well, that gives you an idea of how the game plays out. Time passes, start over. Again, you're not going to get your cards into your hand. You're going to have to take the action that pulls those cards back in, and so that's one thing you have to think about. So I'll go ahead and just give my thoughts on this. This is fantastic. I really, really love this game a lot, and it's one I've been eyeing for a long time. And it was also kind of intimidating. It's a heavier weight cooperative game, which there aren't a whole lot of those, but I think that's why this one seems so intimidating to me. There's a lot of moving pieces, and so putting out an app for this for Steam has been amazing because you can make those mistakes, the computer corrects you, and it's fantastic. So, and I think the implementation of this is done really well. Now, I will say, again, going back to what I said at the beginning, this one needs a tutorial, and they know that. Like they're producing a tutorial for this. It just wasn't available for early access. I hope it's done well because I think, and also I'll say I would not want to be the one charged with designing that tutorial because that has to be a bear. It's got to be really difficult. But once that gets in place, I just think that this is a no-brainer for picking this one up because if you like Spirit Island, this is going to give you more opportunities to play with it and not have to do all the upkeep if that's something that is something you don't like to do. But also if you don't know the game and you're like me and you're really have been intimidated by it, this is a no-brainer because it allows you to just jump in. The computer teaches you how to play it, and then you're going to want to get the physical copy like I did. So anyway, this was just kind of my overview thoughts of the early access game. Be looking for a full-on review of the board game that we got a review copy of. Both of these, the early access as well as the physical copy, are early access games. But anyway, I encourage you to check this one out, especially if you know the game and love it. You got to pick it up. That is going to do it for this time. If you want to get in touch with us, you can reach us at Meepletown Games. That's Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can also go to our website, meepletowngames.com, where we have all of our content on there, like our podcast, YouTube videos, and some written content on there as well. And finally, if you want to engage with us in more in-depth conversation, I'd recommend going to Board Game Geek .com and check out guild number 3407, and we've got some presents there. So anyway, that's going to do it for this time. Thanks for coming down to Meepletown. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at Meepletown Games, and connect with us on the Meepletown Guild, guild number 3407, at BoardGameGeek.com, and also subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel. And until next time, thanks for coming down to Meepletown.